wasn't in the Big Ten at that time, but he knows what it means to play Big Ten lacrosse. Just about set for action here. Maryland and High Point to kick off the 2022 season. And we are underway from a chilly day in College Park. Welcome back to college lacrosse. And a Maryland offense that averaged nearly 16 goals per game a season ago will start out on the attack. Eric Malever, the sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia, will get things going on this side of the ball. Josh, what does Maryland have to do to convert? Not only
Jared Bernhardt on the X, he's got that speed. It opened up Wisnauskas a little more. Now more people are going to have to try and find their own shots.
There is Wisnauskas wearing the new jersey, number 1. Such a great history of that jersey in this program. Inside it goes for Jonathan Donville. Maryland up and running in 2022.
And Jonathan Donville up and running too. The first overall pick in the NLL entry draft starts his Maryland career off right. First shot, first goal.
Maryland scored 8 seconds in 2020 against High Point. This time it doesn't take much more than that at all. And the transfer from Cornell, who was the first overall pick in the NLL draft. This Maryland attack, Malever, Wisnauskas, DeMeo, and the additions of Donville and Khan, just to name a few. Here's DeMeo, goal line extended. Nice dish, but Donville was unable to get on the receiving end of it. Maryland picks up the ground ball. Here's Wisnauskas with the left hand. New number 1 jersey, and he's on the board in 2022.
The player they like to call Groot. Little jump shot from the top.
Take one more look at it. Maryland able to unbalance the defense, and then Logan Wisnauskas, as soon as he gets that half yard of separation, he's going to let it fly.
And it's his 6'3" frame that lets him do this as well, jumping up and over.
The longer it stays a 2 or 3 goal game, Josh, the more confidence High Point's going to feel, especially with that number 2 next to Maryland's name.
Yeah,
oh, nice move there.
Nice move there from Jack Brennan. If you're John Tillman, you want to get this 3rd and maybe even a 4th goal before this 4th quarter runs out. Give them absolutely no hope, but stays 2-0, 3-0. Panthers will keep building.
Maryland will try to build offensively, though. Back behind X once again. Goal side for Murphy. Gets out in front of the crease, and Owen Murphy puts it away. Make that Prabilski with his first goal in a Maryland jersey. I was right the first time. It was, in fact, Owen Murphy, number 55 in a Maryland jersey, to make it 3-0.
The transfer from Johns Hopkins had to sit out all of last year because of the transfer. Today makes his Maryland debut.
Here's Jack Brennan. Brennan scored twice against High Point in that season opener of 2020. Now here's Bubba Fairman, whose name we haven't said too much in the early stages. Certainly going to be a key contributor in the midfield, though, with 19 goals a season ago. A point in every game last year, and was a facilitator as well as a goal scorer. Here's Khan, the transfer, shoots and scores. Keegan Khan from Chatham, New Jersey, making absolutely no mistake that time. And not 1, not 2, but 3 transfers on the score sheet already.
All the new guys getting involved. Good move from Khan behind the cage, wrap around left shot, low to high.
And we talked about all blue bloods, if you will, of college lacrosse, that they don't rebuild, they reload. But for Maryland, you can already see it paying off in game number 1 and quarter number 1.
John Tillman knows how to recruit.
And we talked about how important it was for Maryland to open up a little bit of separation for High Point to keep this game within striking distance. And as soon as we say that, a pair of quick goals for the Terps, and High Point still yet to get on the board. That's a shot and a quick goal. Oh, what a quick release that was. Maryland able to win the ensuing face-off, though, and now the Terps can attempt to restore their 4-goal advantage. As we head down the home stretch of quarter number 1. Maryland's led just about wire to wire. But High Point finally getting on the board, courtesy of Nick Rizzo. Space opens up for Long. Finds Wisnauskas, bounce and scores. Can't leave Logan Wisnauskas that open for that time. Ty, a transfer from UVA. Of course, I'm sure have had a lot to say about the way things went down on Memorial Day in East Hartford. Making a quick trip from Charlottesville to College Park, and he and Weirman will be the 1-2 tandem at the Face-Off X this season. Quick shot and a quick goal. Daniel Maltz is on the board. 27 goals, 45 assists a season ago. It's going to have to be a player that High Point relies on to get the offense going. Michael Ippolito, the senior from Maryland as well, a number of Maryland natives on this High Point team, making the trip to College Park. Nice move by Ippolito. Now back out in front, a shot and a goal. And there is Brayden Mayea. Knew we would say his name sooner rather than later. And High Point strikes first in the second quarter.
Good look from Mayea, but I think McNaney will be disappointed with himself as you watch. Ball comes to Mayea, and McNaney gets beaten over that shoulder.
For John Torpy's team, and sometimes when all that momentum is going against you, just that quarter break, Josh, to kind of reset can really help.
Yeah, and it also helps when you come out and get a goal early. Probably told his team, we're going to win this face-off, let's get this goal, and let's try to climb back into this thing. That's exactly what they did.
Here's Rizzo, one of the goal scorers. Gets it back behind X. Out in front, another nice pass and another nice score. It's Mayea again. And High Point's right back in the swing of things.
Nolting and Mayea, tell me if you've heard that combo once or twice if you're a High Point fan. Really good move from Nolting here to get to the edge. Good movement from Mayea to find that little pocket of space. Same little pocket that Daniel Maltz found for the Terps, and makes no mistake from there.
You know, Nolting High Point with the ball and a chance to cut into that deficit a little bit more. Another good performance against Maryland for Parker Green as Nolting gets the goal line extended. Feeds it all the way over to the other side for Russell. It's over his head though. Foot race is on for the ball. And it's kicked over across the Maryland side. Heady play by the Terps, and now they can come in transition. Bubba Fairman onto his left hand, shoots and scores. Back for year number 5 and back on the scoring sheet.
Great heads-up play from Zappatello to kick the ball into the transition, as you'll see here. And then comes to Fairman, and he just says, you know what, you're going to give me a lane. I'm stronger than you. Big body, bounce into the corner.
Now here's DeMeo looking for a lane himself. Back up top, it comes for Wisnauskas. 2 goals and 2 assists already for him. Talked about how important he was going to be in the open, and already up to the challenge. Now finding Wisnauskas once again. Onto his right hand for the hat trick. He can do it with his left, he can do it with his right, and filling into that number 1 jersey for Maryland quite nicely.
A little first half hattie for Wisnauskas. This time goes to a right hand, showing he can do it a little bit of both over the goalie's shoulder.
And for High Point, you know, you work it all the way around. And now losing it, and John Geppert's unable to win it back for Maryland. High Point can come again. Here's Nolting. Goal line extended back to Asher Nolting. Right on the doorstep, inside a shot, and it went off of the post as well. That's a couple of times the ball's hit the iron today. And High Point's able to get the rebound back as the man-up opportunity expires. Here's another shot, low, and a score. Nick Murphy, the way the first quarter went, as a penalty flag flies, there'll be delayed call going against the Terps. for the way the first quarter went, going into the break 6-1 Maryland in favor. If this is a 2 or 3 score game at the interval, you're feeling pretty good about yourself if you're the Panthers.
Yeah, it just keeps the morale high in the locker room, saying you still got a fighting chance. And if you're John Tillman, you want to try and extend that lead. And if you're Coach Torpy, you want to see stuff like that.
Kobe Russell coming back to his home state and a bounce shot and a score. Scored here in College Park in the season opener in 2020, does so again in 2022.
Yeah, and it kind of looked like the ball just skipped up on McNaney there. Kind of a weird shot to try and handle if you're a goalie, because you don't assume that it's going to bounce up like it did, but it does.
Went to Boys Latin School in Maryland. You know that the first half of play. Terps have 5 seconds to clear. Got to hurry as they launch it all the way down the field. It'll go out and it'll stay with the Terps. Last-ditch clear effort, able to pay off for Maryland, and now with about 35 seconds to go, they can slow things down. 3 goals for Wisnauskas, 1 for Donville, 1 for Khan. 2 on the other side for Mayea, 1 for Russell. 1 for Murphy, 1 for Rizzo. Here's Wisnauskas for number 4. The expectations are high with that shirt. And with less than 30 minutes into his time wearing it, he's got 4 goals.
It's just too easy for Logan Wisnauskas. Not a defender in sight. Spot up.
He saw violations against High Point as well that led to some man-up opportunities. Those will reset, though, for the second half. Certainly something to keep an eye on, though, as DeMeo is unable to finish that one off as he came right down the right seam. As here is Khan. In and out of his pockets, able to bring it back. Comes goal side and scores. 2 for Keegan Khan.
Khan taking a big hit, but finishing nonetheless. Flying through the air, as you see, he's walking a little bit gingerly right now. Huge hit as he flew through the air for the goal.
Keep an eye on him in the next 5 or 10 minutes or so, but what a move to come goal side and goes airborne for the jump shot. Point 11 for 12, so they've been pretty efficient as well. Although it's come down to the wire on a couple of occasions. Logan McNaney's allowed 5 goals, 3 saves in the cage for Maryland, and High Point will look to test him again here. Here's Mayea with his 2 goals. Nice move to lose his defender, and another, and a hat trick. The Canadian comes to College Park, and he's keeping his team in it right now.
And if you're the Maryland defense, that's just a little too easy. Gets past 2 bodies, gets to the left and finds that bottom right corner. Good move to get past the first one. Skips past Ray Hill as well and finds the bottom corner.
Had 6 hat tricks a season ago, and he's somebody who could score goals in bunch side players like Wisnauskas. Once you see the ball go into the back of the net once, more and more likely you're going to see it going more and more. It just builds that confidence. It grows on itself exponentially. We'll see how much Mayea is able to keep High Point in this game. Asher Nolting, no goals for him, but 3 assists. As Maryland's offense looks to get going. Inside for Khan, behind the back. How do you do, Keegan Khan? Welcome to College Park. He's got a hat trick and put a big old star next to that goal.
I guess he's feeling all right after that big hit. Just silky smooth from Khan. He makes it look so easy. Behind the back into the top corner.
Well, certainly one Torpy. Brennan's able to come goal side here. Back onto his left hand, and he gives it up. In the middle, a shot goes wide. Might have been deflection there from Green as Wisnauskas was looking for number 5. I think Green did get a touch onto it. That's save number 8 if he is credited with it. As you'd imagine he would be. Another excellent day for Parker Green in net, and he's had to be up to the task. Here's Murphy. He's on the score sheet today, 2. and he gets right back on it. Number 2 for the transfer from Johns Hopkins. Maryland up to a dozen in College Park.
Good move from Murphy, just being patient, finds a little spin and a snapshot that beats the goalie low.
Able to step in, and Higgins. What can Maryland do on this opportunity? Wisnauskas gets it to Donville. Graduate student from Ontario. And a transfer from Cornell. Back behind for Khan. Inside for Donville on the doorstep. Baker's dozen for Maryland.
The 2 transfers connecting there. Villanova to Cornell. Philly to New York.
And make it a pair for Donville, the first overall pick in the 2021 NLL draft. He didn't get to play at all in 2021 at Cornell, of course. Murphy gets behind the cage. Murphy trying to feed right down the middle for Khan. Maryland's going to track it down first. Here's Chorus for Wisnauskas. One more goal puts him in a tie for 4th all time. Swung over to the far side, another nice feed, but that time Green was able to deny. But there you see the passing of Logan Wisnauskas, not just the goal scorer that we were talking about a bit earlier. Here's Malever with a spin move. Finding Murphy for the hat trick. And Murphy, after an illegal equipment penalty against Eric Malever, not something you see all that often, Josh.
No, it's really something I've never seen, to be quite honest. I know it is a penalty, but I've never seen one like that.
High Point unable to capitalize, though, off a nice save from Logan McNaney. And now the ride coming on for High Point as they look to force the issue. Maryland able to clear, though. Here's Geppert. Gives it off to Khan. Extra pass. He's in a tie for 4th all time. Logan Wisnauskas with goal number 5, and Matt Hahn has company in the ranks of Maryland's all-time goal leaders.
Yeah, and just great play from the Terps. Able to clear it, man down. Credit Geppert for clearing it.
So sooner rather than later, you'd imagine Wisnauskas, who's now only 6 away from that, is going to get there. And then Jared Bernhardt with 202 in a league to himself. For High Point, just trying to make things a little bit closer each possession in this season opener. And not only this, but build good habits as well for Colgate and UVA and Navy and Duke coming up next for difficult tests. As they get it inside, and a nice shot and a nice goal from Mayea again. That ball was out of his stick as quickly as it went in. And he's got 4 goals today, Brayden Mayea.
He's just finding those pockets very well today. Finds it in the middle of that Maryland defense. And ball came into him quick, leaves his stick even quicker, and finds the back of the net the quickest.
Out of Windsor, Ontario, and you saw there, it was all in one fluid Pennsylvania. At 44 points last season, including 2 hat tricks. Long gets all the way goal side. And a shot by Wisnauskas. That's such a quick trigger, but it went wide of the cage. Khan will re-trigger. He gets goal side, he shoots and he scores. And Maryland's scoring for fun now.
Really good move from Khan. Takes the ball from out of bounds, little swim move to get past his defender and finishes low.
4th of the day for Keegan Khan. And welcome to playing for a Big Ten team. From the Big East to the Big Ten, he had 50 points in the conference against Big East foes last season. And you know, once you get to Big Ten play, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with as well.
That swim move, just bring the ball over the long pole.
Yes, we hope that's the only similarity between the 2020 season and the 2022. Certainly don't need any more parallels between what happened a couple of years ago and present day. High Point wins the face-off to start the 4th quarter. As Nolting Works hard on Brett Mayea, whose name we haven't said today, and Nolting able to get his way through the crease and score. Knew it was going to be a matter of time for the big body Nolting. After 4 assists, he gets his goal, and High Point has 8.
You're not going to see a lot of guys muscle off Brett Mayea like that. And Nolting just gets his body between Mayea and the goal and finds a way to dunk it in there.
5 hat tricks a season ago for Asher Nolting. He's using his 5th year as well. Was about to say, haven't said Brett Maye's name too much today, which usually for a defender is a good thing. As Asher Nolting was just able to maneuver his Mayea gives it up and gets it right back. Here's Kyle Long. Back behind X for Khan. Maryland working all the way around the horn. That's one of the more prolific offenses in the nation last season. And the team with the highest scoring margin in the nation last season. Looks for more and gets more. Kyle Long on the board.
Makes it look so casual, but he's got this speed that he just turns on. And when he gets around the corner, it's just ridiculous how easy it is for him.
Long didn't play against High Point a couple of seasons ago, but a goal, 17 goals conceded. That's now 40 combined goals allowed for him in the 2 times he has faced off with the Terps here at Capital One Field at Maryland Stadium, but you can't really point at any that you can give to his fault. He's been pretty solid today with his 9 saves. Maryland's just been all over the place on the attack. Haven't really been any cheap ones though, Josh.
No cheap ones really from either goalkeeper. Maybe 1 or 2 you could say, oh, if it's middle of the season, they probably should save that, but nothing more than that. 2 really good goalie performances.
As Brennan's able to dodge, get right back behind X as Maryland comes again and scores again. Murphy has been excellent. Maltz has been excellent. Murphy as well. It was up to the attack to be able to keep pace, and Maryland's defense has risen to the challenge. You know, we talk so much about the High Point attack when it's the Panthers with the ball, but the defense for players like Ray Hill and Mayea have been excellent today. Another sharp angle shot and score. Jack Van Overbeek had 9 goals last season, gets on the board today. That was from an awfully tight angle, and he was able to beat McNaney short side. Assisted by Rizzo, 2 points for him now today. McNaney was able to square up to him. Young High Point team, Josh, talked about players like Vines, who's a senior, and Nolting, who's a 5th-year player. But there are some younger players on this High Point team as well. You look at players like Van Overbeek, he's a sophomore. Mayea has been excellent, he's a sophomore. As Maryland's able to score once again immediately. It's Gavin Ty, his first in a Maryland jersey.
Another newcomer, another goal.
Hard to keep up with all the goals coming from Maryland. The transfer from UVA, right off of the face-off, is able to come right down and score.
Just wins his face-off very well, beats his man, pops up in the air. No one's gonna fill the lane. He says, all right, I'll do it myself. Wisnauskas with the new number, everyone.
And for High Point, you know, certainly not the scoreline that you would have wanted, but plenty of learning experiences. A strong day from Brayden Mayea, a strong day from Asher Nolting. And as we've already talked about a handful of times, it doesn't get any easier after this, so you have to leave with the lessons you've learned. And get right back into the swing of things on Friday. That's a heck of a move from Mayea. And he is having himself quite the day.
Saw the swim move earlier on in the game from Keegan Khan. Mayea says, anything you can do, I can do better. This little swim move into the top corner. He's having a day.
We've talked about his ability to score goals in bunches. That's number 5 for him off of 5 shots. He's been unbelievably efficient. 6 points now for Nolting. And they have been all the offense today for High Point. Mayea with half his team's goals. Here's Vines with a head of steam. Vines shoots and scores. Going top shelf. And Hunter Vines is on the board.
We talked about him in the open as that third piece behind Mayea and Nolting. Who's going to step up? And Vines had a career high in points last year, finally getting on the board here today.
And Drew Morris, after coming into the game, that's a difficult spot to do, coming in cold and against an offense that can score in bunches.
In the fourth quarter as well.
But the first and the third have been all Maryland as needed, combined in those two quarters, a 13-3 advantage. 6 goals in the first, 7 in the third for the Terps. And looking for more with under 3 minutes to go with Charlie Corris, the freshman, 4-star recruit by Inside Lacrosse. As John Tillman getting a look at some of his depth pieces towards the end of this ball game, and a bounce shot and a score. Eric Malever with 2 assists today, and now he finally gets himself his goal. And Maryland's got 20.
And he deserves that today. He's been the facilitator, has a couple of assists, but just making all these key passes today. Gets to his spot and says, all right, my turn.
A lot of this year.
Just being that facilitator, being able to find all the passes, get the ball into the right stick at the right time.
One of the last opportunities for High Point to try to get something going offensively as Mayea runs into a whole herd of Terps. And Kopp is able to take it away. Don't know if that's the actually correct term for a group of Terrapins. As Maltz right on the doorstep off of an excellent feed. Malever's got 3 assists, and Maltz, as quickly as he caught it, he shot it, he scored.
As we brought up, sneakily third on the team in goals last year, finds himself in a good spot and makes no mistake.
Back up top, and now stepping into the shot and sailing it up and over is Lamb. Morris might have gotten a piece of that. And now Nolting back behind the crease. Nice feed inside, but couldn't be finished off by Mayea. Those two have linked up so often in this ball game. But we're into the final minute of what will be a season opening and tone-setting win for the Maryland Terrapins. But first, another nice shot and a nice goal from Jack Van Overbeek.
Must have been a miscommunication there on the man-down defense from the Terps. I guess there's so many new players and that'll happen, but Van Overbeek just finds himself wide open, too much space, and says, really? Really? Takes a couple steps, puts it in the top shelf.
That's 2 for others were able to bring it back to a more respectable number, but Maryland with the majority of the possessions, the majority of the shots, and the number that matters most, the most goals. And about 15 seconds to go. High Point can look to muster one last attack. Shot that goes up and over. And the final seconds will tick out on what has been an excellent day for Maryland, and to spoil the party, a goal from Kobe Russell with 2 seconds to go.
Another consolation goal, but good for the Panthers to pour it on here at the end. Russell finds the ball, goes low to low with the left.
Second of the day for Kobe Russell. As we mentioned, the Maryland native, and John Torpy's squad continuing to fight until the final whistle. But for Maryland, the number 2 next to your name comes with all sorts of expectations, and Maryland has met them and then some with a 21-goal performance here today in the opening day of College Park 2022.
Good performance from John Tillman's men. 29th consecutive season opener win. Just a good record and a good performance from them to try and get off the mark this season.
A tradition that continues to live on. February has been